Nearly 2,000 years ago, an imprisoned man sat in a small Roman cell, writing words that would change the world forever. His name was the Apostle Paul. These were not ordinary letters. Each one was inspired to teach, encourage, correct, and strengthen believers, and together they became a vital part of the New Testament. Paul traveled across the Roman Empire, preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ and planting churches wherever people were willing to hear God's message. From Jerusalem to Rome, Paul's missionary journey spread Christianity throughout the ancient world, and his letters guided these growing churches through faith and hardship. The first letter in the New Testament is Romans. In it, Paul explains that every person has sinned, but through faith in Jesus Christ, God's grace offers salvation to everyone who believes. Paul's first letter to the Corinthians confronted a church filled with division, pride, and confusion. He reminded believers that love is the greatest gift, and that Christ must always be the center of the church. In 2 Corinthians, Paul shares his own suffering and reminds us that God's power is made perfect in our weakness. Even in hardship, his grace is always enough. The churches in Galatia were being misled. Paul boldly declared that salvation is a gift of God's grace, received through faith in Jesus Christ, not by human works. In Ephesians, Paul reminds believers to stand strong by putting on the full armor of God, because our greatest battles are spiritual, not physical. While imprisoned, Paul wrote Philippians to teach that true joy doesn't depend on our circumstances. Real joy comes from knowing and trusting Jesus Christ. Paul's letter to the Colossians proclaims one powerful truth. Jesus Christ is supreme over all creation. In him alone, believers are complete. In 1 Thessalonians, Paul encourages believers to remain faithful and gives them hope by reminding them that Jesus Christ will one day return. Paul tells the Thessalonian believers